What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? This is your boy Ant. Man, I haven't done one of these in quite a while. Uh, what up? What up? What up? Yeah, I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I wanted to come on for just a few minutes because I just made this post, and I get it that some people sometimes, if you're just reading and not really hearing what a person has to say, it could really throw the whole conversation off. And I don't go back and forth with people. I really don't. But the question that I asked, or the statement that I made, was if you want young people to attend your church, give them something to do. Stop holding on to positions until you're dead and gone. Young people are capable of handling the Lord's business. Why did I bring that up? I'm not singling out one particular church. I'm not singling out no one. I'm making a statement because by me being an individual who have grown up in the church, from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and now the 2020s, I've seen a lot. You know, you see a trend with certain churches where youth are no longer there. And the main reason is things have gotten outdated and people don't want to accept change. All right. Now, I'm not saying that, bring somebody or let kids just do whatever it is they want to do. That's not what I'm saying. From personal experience, you have to train kids while they are young. So once they reach that certain age, they will know how to carry on certain ministries within that church. Now, me, I was taught not only by my grandparents, especially my grandfather, who was a deacon at our home church for well over 70, close to 50, 60 years. My family had been members there since the 1940s. So when I became of age, my grandfather, along with a lot of other men and women at my home church, started teaching me certain things that they felt I needed to know. And because of them showing me the way and teaching me certain things, that's why I'm able to be in positions that I'm in now, not meaning strictly in my home church, but I'm able to do certain things that other people are not equipped to do. Why? Because I was trained when I was young. See, holding on to positions just because it's a church thing, in my honest opinion, is what has ruined a lot of churches. You cannot expect to draw young people to a church. Number one, and your youth, your young days have already surpassed you. Youth attracts youth. And if you want young people to be a part of what you have going on, number one, you got to make them feel like they are wanted. You have to make them feel appreciated and accepted. Now, if you want your church to die, keep going in the trend that you're going in where there's no growth, there's no youth, there's no youth movement. But if you want your church to be around for another 20, 30, 40 years, start investing in your kids. Start investing in them now because you don't want them to turn out and start depending on the street. You don't want them to turn out and start doing things that's not what you want your son or your daughter, your niece or your nephew to be doing. Give them an opportunity, give them something. Now, what I am going to say is this generation of kids nowadays, I'm not expecting them to adapt the way that I did and when my generation came up, because you're dealing with two different worlds, man. All right. Now, I'm a firm believer. Once you get kids there, they'll stay if they have something to do. Back in the day, In the early 2000s, man, we had our pastor allowed us to build a basketball court in our church parking lot, and we would play basketball before youth meeting, before choir rehearsal, and afterwards. His thing was, as long as y'all participate with choir rehearsal, either being in the choir, in the youth department, or the Sunday school or something, he didn't mind us getting putting that realm out there. Because anybody who remember, Pastor Jones used to be out there shooting hoops with us. He'll stand there and shoot free throws with us until it was time for him to go in and start his meetings. You have to meet your kids where they are. Don't just shove the Bible down their throat, especially if they are not used to it. If you got to put a basketball rim on your church grounds, and those kids come, use that as a stepping stone to teaching them different things about the church. I know for a fact it will work because I've seen it work because we used to do it. When we put that rim out, we had kids from like 4 or 5 different blocks away from my home church that will come and will play with us, shoot hoops with us. You know what I'm saying? Once they got there and they would see like Pastor Jones come out and he would come over and greet them, he would always ask them, if they belong to a church. Someone would say yes, some would say no. And he would ask them if they wouldn't mind coming back on Sunday. Because he made them feel like he was interested in them, why you think they came? And now you look at it 20, 30 years later, many churches don't even have kids in them. Some churches are missing like 4 to 5 different generations of kids and wonder why their churches are not prospering and not growing. For any church that has kids in them, give them kids something to do. Now, what I'm blessed on is simple. When COVID popped up, my church we wasn't on the radio anymore. We wasn't recording our services, but we utilized Facebook because that's the only tool that we had at that particular time to really getting the message out to people, especially our congregation being an older congregation. That was the only way that many of our church members could interact with us during COVID. And to this day, a lot of our members are still interacting with us on Facebook and YouTube. Now, me at the time, this was 4 years ago. I wish I could have done this 10 years ago if it was possible. But some people didn't understand the true value of Facebook. But now, a whole lot of people is on there. So whether people want to accept it or not, it was young people that created Facebook. And now look at it. It's a worldwide conglomerate that everybody is utilizing. If those young people who started this back in the early to late 2000s, if they would have listened like some people listen and then get deterred from trying to reach their goal, Facebook would have never been out there. And now you look at it, it's hundreds of millions of people that are on Facebook every single day. So you have to give young people a chance. If you don't, you're going to keep seeing this trend of them out there on the street getting in all kind of trouble. And then on the other side of it, you're going to sit there and then you're going to belittle them. You're going to talk about them. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to do the norm, man. And in order to break that trend, give these kids something to do. I don't care what it is. If you got a security force, let the kids do that. If whatever type of ministry that those kids may want to be interested in, give them an opportunity, man. I'm not saying let them balance out the checkbooks as a teenager, even though there are some teenagers who can balance the hell out of them. But you gotta put them under your wing and teach them. So when they become of age, you can pass that torch down to them. I honestly feel in my heart that some people are selfish for holding on to positions 40 and 50 years, and there's no one underneath them who can come up and take that baton and run with the vision. You're being selfish holding on to stuff like that, and there's no growth. Now, honestly, anybody that knows me knows I don't care if you go back and repeat anything that I said, but at least tell the truth. I'm not singling out nobody. I'm just stating the facts. If you're holding on to positions 20, 30, 40 years and there's no growth in what you're doing and what you want to do is not working anymore, you're wasting that group's time. Start teaching somebody how to take over. Even in the Bible, Moses had to realize he carried his ministry as far as he could, and somebody else had to be prepared to take over that load. I just taught this in Sunday school Sunday. Moses carried his ministry as far as he could. He couldn't go no further. But there was a Joshua waiting to pick up that baton and take that ministry to a different level. And that's all I'm saying that many people need to start doing when it comes to our youth. You've carried that load as far as you can go, especially if the ministry is not thriving. Start preparing a Joshua now before it gets too late. And then you're going to look up and wonder why I don't have nobody in my 20s, nobody in their 30s, 40s, even teenagers. You don't have them there. It's because you held on too long. You were selfish, and it is not cool. And that's the main reason why a lot of young people stop going to churches. Why should they go when it's nothing for them to do? A lot of people sit and yell and fuss at them instead of trying to teach them and help them. I can get yelled at home. I don't go to church to get yelled at. So I wanted to come on so I can clear the comment up, because some people can take what you type and take it the wrong way. So it's better that you hear it directly from me, what I mean by that. Because I'm not about to keep typing a million different comments on the book like that. I'd rather just say it and be done with it. But that's the main reason why I made that post. I look up every single day and I see a lot of churches without kids in them. And I used to sit back like, man, I wonder why that church don't do it. And it's simple. Because you got too many people that don't want to invest in them, that wants to take over every single thing that's there, as if there's nobody else in the church who can do things. You will be amazed at what a kid can do, what a teenager can do, what somebody in their 20s can do. You just got to give them a fair chance at doing it. So, like I said, I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to come on and clear that up and to state my honest opinion on that and be done with it. Y'all can comment on this video if you choose to. If not, I just wanted to clear it up because I'm not about to go back and forth and keep typing the same thing over and over. I'd rather just say it and be done with the whole thing. But if you want your church to thrive, take it from someone who started out in the church at 8 years old, and now I'm in my 40s. So I've seen it, I've lived through it, and I've experienced a great deal of it. So I'm trying to just sharing my little personal nuggets on what it's going to take to get kids there. You got to give them something to do. If you have a media team, let your kids learn how to do that stuff. I built streaming systems for churches all over. And I love when I get the opportunity to share my knowledge with somebody else. So as long as I can share my knowledge and my nuggets that I've learned and picked up, from, like I said, the experiences that I've had, I don't mind sharing it. Because eventually I'm going to get called an old head, sooner than later. But when my time is up, at least I want somebody to be able to pick up where I left off at, instead of me halfway dead and don't nobody know how to carry on nothing but a small group. I'd rather teach somebody now, so once that time comes, you're not left in the dark and things can continue to go on. So I just wanted to clear that up. Hey, y'all, I'll see y'all when I see you. Peace.